In the previous video, I actually went over number 15, how to create the confidence interval for proportion of all students using StatCrunch. And then I wrote a short interpretation on number 16. I went back and added one more word, okay? Because I think the way that I typed it up earlier, it sounded like in this particular sample. So I said I'm 90% confident that the proportion of all students from USA in this database, okay, the census at school database, who answered happy as their preferred status is in between this number and that number. So this yellow highlighted base, I didn't have that in my previous video, but when I read over my interpretation, I felt like I needed to add this database to be more accurate in my population. But anyways, let's go back. Now, look, even though we had a sample of size of 120, you see it only found 119 students in my sample, and that is because I remember seeing one student didn't answer this survey. They didn't answer, hey, what's your preferred status? Students answered happy, rich, famous, college. There was one blank that I noticed. That's why it says 119. So N is 119. The sample size is actually 119 for me, not 120. Some of you will see 120. Mine says 119 because one student messed up on his or her survey. All right, look at the count for me. What do you think that number stands for? Okay, out of 119 students in my sample, 65 of them answered that they prefer to be happy. Okay, so how many of them did not say they want to be happy? So I can do a simple subtraction. Okay, well, 54%, 54 students out of 119 students said they rather be something else, like famous, rich, or something else. But what I did, this number 54 and 65 is how we're going to answer this part. So take a look at number 14. Let's read this and answer this together. We want to construct a 90% confidence interval for the proportion of all students, okay, from USA in this database, who said their preferred status is happy. We did this already, but actually technically before I did this, I should have checked this assumption, okay? It says verify that the condition for Z interval for proportion are met. Okay, and I'll tell you what this condition is here. That is, show that n times p hat and n times 1 minus p hat are both at least 15. Like, what does that mean? Okay, now p hat is the proportion of students in the sample who said they want to be happy. Okay, 1 minus p hat is the proportion of students who said they'd rather be something else. So really what they want here is the number of students who said they want to be happy and number of students who said they don't want to be happy, they want to be something else, are at least 15 and up. But we already met that condition. Look, I had 65 students who answered happy as their answer, and I had what? 54 students who picked something else. So I just have to write this down. But what I'm referring to, because this section, guys, was assigned as the asynchronous lesson for this week. You read in your textbook and probably in your Google slide, if you were checking this, that this is the assumption that we have to check. But when I think when I developed this project, I was using a different textbook. Okay, that textbook said use 15 as the number. Our new textbook says use 5. That's why you see greater than or equal to 5 here, greater than or equal to 5 here. If you use 5 or 15, both are fine because I ask you to use a sample that is bigger. Okay, this was it was supposed to be 120, so we should all be okay unless you have a crazy sample. Okay, so verify that the sampling distribution of p hat can be approximated by the normal distribution, but checking that the number of success is at least 5 and the number of failure is greater than or equal to 5. So here it is. The number of success, okay, or n times p in this context, in this problem, is the number of students who answered happy as their preferred status. And before I do this, how would I know this? Okay. So remember, guys, we did use charts in our first unit. We can simply do a pie chart or bar chart. Take a look. I can just do a quick descriptive statistics. Maybe I can do a pie chart. I'll do a bar plot with data, and then I want to know how students answered on preferred status. I think it's in the bottom here. Okay, and I'm just gonna, maybe I can title this as preferred status. And here it is. I can look at this bar chart. Happy 65, right? Let me take a screenshot of this. I do want you to show me how you know these numbers, okay? So I did a quick bar chart, okay? And in this bar chart, it said 65 students answered happy as their preferred status, okay? That is how I can find the number of success. And the success in this category was number of success is happy. So, and look, 65 is bigger than 5 or 15. So that first category is good, right? All right. So how many of them did not say happy as their preferred status? Okay, I should write that down too. The number of failures, which is n times 1 minus p hat in this problem, is the number of students who did not answer happy as their preferred status. And what's that number going to be? Well, in my sample, and you're going to have to find your own number, right? I have 119 students in total, but 65 said they wanted to be happy. So I'm going to do 119 minus 65. Uh-oh. And I think we got that number earlier. Wasn't that 50? Goodness, sorry. 119 minus 65. And that comes out to be 54. Okay? So this is my conclusion. Both this n times p hat, and you can actually do this using the multiplication, but that's what they want you to find. How many people answered happy? How many did not answer happy? Are at least 15, because 65 and 54 are both greater than 15, or to be even, well, following our textbook, our new textbook, are at least 5. Therefore, the conditions for a z interval, for a proportions, are met. Okay, so that's gonna be your conclusion. It will be very nice if you can show me how you know that number. Okay, I use bar chart. I think another method is if you want to create a pie chart. Okay, that will be a nice one too. I can do graph, pie chart with data. I'll go down and select preferred status, and I'll call this preferred status. You don't have to do both, but you see, 65 of my students in this sample said they wanted to be happy. So this is us using descriptive stat to find the number, because what we needed to see was we need both the number of students who answered happy and who answered otherwise, are at least 5 for us to go on with this procedure. Okay, so I showed you how to do number 15 and write the interpretation for number 16 in the other video, but I think these two were the number 14, 15, and 16 were the questions that I got a lot of emails about. But if you guys need anything else, feel free to reach out to me. I think I already posted the video going over like number 1 through 10. So I'm excited to read the rest of your answers this week. Okay, all right, I will stop recording now.